For decades, Apple has been more than just a company, it's a cultural icon and the undisputed king of consumer tech. The iPod changed the way we listen to music, the iPhone redefined what a phone could be, and the iPad transformed how we interact with technology. Apple's launches became global events, drawing crowds and headlines, setting trends that rippled across the world. Over time, Apple's ecosystem became a fortress, offering not just convenience and quality, but a sense of belonging. Owning an Apple device meant joining a community, one that valued design, innovation, and a seamless experience. Apple's secret weapon? The flawless integration of hardware and software, creating products that just work beautifully and intuitively. Your iPhone, Mac, Watch, and AirPods all work together effortlessly, handing off tasks and information as if by magic. This interconnectedness became Apple's signature, locking in loyalty and making it hard to leave. This strategy made Apple a titan, seemingly untouchable, a company that set the pace for the entire industry. But in the world of technology, no kingdom is safe forever. The landscape shifts quickly, and even giants can stumble. While Apple polished its hardware and refined its software, a new revolution was quietly brewing. Artificial intelligence, or AI, began to reshape what technology could do. This shift isn't about faster chips or sleeker designs, it's about intelligence, machines that can learn, adapt, and even anticipate our needs in ways we never imagined. For the first time in years, Apple finds itself playing defense, not offense. The rules of the game are changing, and the company must adapt or risk falling behind. The AI era doesn't follow Apple's old rules of closed systems and perfection. Instead, it rewards openness, collaboration, and rapid experimentation. It's about data, experimentation, and moving fast, even if it's messy. The companies that thrive are those willing to take risks and learn from failure. Apple's privacy-first stance and culture of secrecy, once its greatest strengths, now risk becoming weaknesses in a world that values open data and shared progress. The king of the last tech era faces a new question. Can it adapt fast enough to stay on top, or will it be dethroned by the very revolution it helped inspire? The world is watching. Will Apple's empire endure, or will the cracks begin to show? As Apple perfected its gadgets, the digital world exploded with generative AI, led by ChatGPT. Suddenly AI could write, code, create art, and hold conversations. Magic Apple didn't seem to have. Microsoft reinvented itself, pouring billions into OpenAI and integrating Copilot everywhere. Google responded with Gemini, embedding AI into search, email, and Android. The AI race was on, and Apple was quiet. While rivals showed off mind-bending demos, Apple's updates felt incremental, new emojis instead of new intelligence. For a company known for innovation, it looked stuck in the past. The tech world wondered, can Apple even catch up? Developers flocked to OpenAI and Google, building the future without Apple. Businesses adopted AI to boost efficiency, while Apple's ecosystem risked irrelevance. The question wasn't if Apple was behind, but by how much and what it could do about it. The pressure was on. Would Apple find its footing or be left behind? Apple's AI struggles can be summed up in 2 words. Hey Siri. Siri was a pioneer in 2011, making voice assistants mainstream. But while competitors evolved, Siri stagnated. It misunderstood requests, struggled with follow-ups, and often defaulted to web searches. Meanwhile, Alexa and Google Assistant became smarter and more capable. Siri became a punchline, a symbol of Apple's AI stagnation. The rise of generative AI like ChatGPT made Siri's limitations glaring. Inside Apple, even engineers were frustrated by Siri's slow progress. Siri's shortcomings aren't just about one feature, they reveal a bigger problem. In an AI-driven world, conversation is the new interface. If your assistant is dumb, your whole ecosystem feels dumb. Siri's failure left a gaping hole in Apple's strategy. Now, Apple is scrambling to catch up and make its devices feel as smart as the competition's. The pressure to reinvent Siri has never been greater. How did Apple fall behind in the race for artificial intelligence? The answer is rooted in the very values that have defined the company for decades: privacy and secrecy. These principles, once Apple's greatest strengths, are now double-edged swords in the rapidly evolving world of AI. Apple's unwavering commitment to user privacy means it collects far less data than its competitors. While this protects users, it also puts Apple at a significant disadvantage when it comes to training powerful AI models, which thrive on massive amounts of data. Google and Microsoft, for example, feed their AI systems with vast oceans of user data, allowing them to build smarter, more responsive technologies. In contrast, Apple processes much of its data on-device, prioritizing privacy but limiting the scale and scope of its AI's learning. But it's not just about data. Apple's deeply ingrained culture of secrecy, designed to protect its innovations, can also slow down progress and stifle creativity. In the world of AI, breakthroughs often come from open research and collaboration. At Apple, however, teams are isolated, working in silos and rarely sharing ideas across departments. This fragmented approach makes it difficult for Apple to keep up with the fast-paced, experimental nature of AI development, where speed and iteration are key. Apple's legendary perfectionism, which has led to some of the world's most polished products, now means the company waits until its AI is flawless before releasing it to the public. But AI is inherently messy and always evolving. Competitors are willing to launch imperfect products, learning and improving in public, while Apple's teams work behind closed doors, missing out on valuable real-world feedback. Ironically, the very qualities that once set Apple apart, privacy, secrecy, and perfectionism, now risk becoming barriers, holding the company back as the industry surges forward. The world of technology is moving faster than ever, and Apple's old playbook may no longer be enough to keep up in the age of artificial intelligence. The question now is whether Apple can adapt its culture and processes to compete in this new era, or if it will be left behind by more agile rivals. Will Apple's core principles continue to drive its success, or will they ultimately become the company's undoing in the race for AI dominance? Under mounting pressure from both the tech industry and its own users, Apple finally stepped into the AI spotlight with the announcement of its long-awaited strategy, Apple Intelligence. Rather than launching a single, flashy product, Apple chose a different path, seamlessly weaving AI features deep into the fabric of its operating systems, from iOS to macOS. The focus is clear. Apple wants AI to be practical, personal, and above all, private. Designed for everyday use by real people, not just tech enthusiasts. With Apple Intelligence, new tools help you write emails, summarize long articles, generate creative images, and edit photos. All right on your device, without sending your data away. Standout demos included live phone call translation, letting you communicate across languages in real time, and visual product recognition, which identifies objects instantly using your camera. Apple's big bet? That users will gladly trade a bit of raw AI power for the peace of mind that comes with true privacy and control over their data. Many of these features run directly on device thanks to the power and efficiency of Apple's silicon chips, keeping your information secure and local. For more complex tasks, Apple introduced private cloud compute. Your data is processed securely in the cloud, but never stored, ensuring your privacy is never compromised. Apple also opened its AI model to third-party developers, inviting them to build new experiences and spark innovation within the Apple ecosystem. The ultimate goal? To make every iPhone and Mac smarter, more helpful, and more intuitive, not just Apple's own apps but the entire user experience. By leveraging its loyal developer community, Apple hopes to turn its privacy-first approach into a true competitive edge, setting itself apart from rivals. It's a bold new direction for Apple, one that plays to its strengths in hardware, software, and privacy. But as the world races ahead with AI, the question remains, will Apple's unique approach be enough to keep it at the forefront of innovation? Apple knows it can't do everything alone, so it partnered with OpenAI. Now when Siri hits its limits, it can ask ChatGPT for help, with your permission. This instantly gives Apple users access to state-of-the-art AI, leveling the playing field. But it's a delicate balance. Apple is sending users to a rival service, risking its ecosystem's purity. Apple frames this as optional, emphasizing privacy and user consent. Rumors suggest Apple may also partner with Google, offering Gemini as another AI option. Apple could become a neutral gatekeeper, letting users choose from multiple AI models. It's a major shift from Apple's walled garden approach. The risk? Users might prefer third-party AIs, making Apple's own efforts seem secondary. But if Apple can integrate these tools seamlessly and securely, it could turn weakness into strength. Apple is betting on user trust and experience. The stakes are high. Can Apple offer the best of all worlds? Can Apple pull off another comeback? History says don't count it out. Apple has a knack for entering late, learning from others, and then redefining the market. Its loyal user base and tight hardware-software integration are huge advantages. Apple Silicon enables powerful private AI on device. If Apple can make AI feel personal and seamless, users may not care if it's the most powerful. But the AI world moves fast and Apple is still catching up. Partnerships with OpenAI and Google are smart, but not a long-term solution. Apple's future depends on evolving Apple Intelligence from useful to indispensable. The real test. Can Apple's privacy-first approach win over users in a world obsessed with raw AI power? The next year will be critical. Apple didn't start the AI revolution, but its next moves could decide who wins. The comeback kid has one more act to prove.